Now, if you persist in your plan, that peace will elude you. And it's really just a toss-up. Who's going to be God and who's not? Okay? Now, to do that, you need an attitude. Let's read what Jesus says here in Matthew 16. Anyone who intends to come with me has to let me lead. You're not in the driver's seat, I am. Circle, let me lead. Okay? Who has leadership in your life? Who is the dominant voice that you listen to? Is it the voice of the world? Is it slick? Is it the lies of the devil? Or is it Jesus Christ? You see, I learned this lesson mountain biking. Several years ago, I went with my friend Paul. By the way, don't learn how to mountain bike with a Marine F-18 pilot. Bad. So he says, we're just going on a little ride. That was a lie. 4,000 feet of elevation later, and 3 lungs later. I'm at the top there, and the good news about mountain biking is what goes up must come down. Now that is the fun part of mountain biking. But even then, when you're descending at the rate of, 20, 30 miles an hour, it's treacherous. And so I'm watching Paul, and being the newbie, I'm kind of watching his line. I'm on this bike. My heart is racing. The adrenaline's pumping. And I can see him taking a line, right? So as the newbie following the experienced, I'm following his line. I see dust kick up. I see, and that means he's tapping the brakes. And so and if I don't, it's off into the wild blue yonder. And I die. So it's kind of the concept of, I had to let Paul lead. I mean, how many of you appreciate backseat drivers? None. Well, you know what? We have the audacity to tell Jesus his business. Jesus saying, hey, you know what? You going to come with me? You got to let me lead. I'm more experienced. I know how it works. You follow me. And yet we kind of act as the backseat drivers. And to let Jesus lead hinges on a little attitude. Let's read 1 Peter 5:6. So humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, and in his good time he will honor you. Circle, humble yourselves. Okay? See, in the Bible, there are 2 attitudes which prevail in a relationship with God. And you can see it from the beginning to the end. One is humility and one is pride. And pride is painted as being stiff-necked, stubborn, and rigid. Kind of where we become the men of steel, and we're rigid and stiff-necked and stubborn. And you see this through the Exodus, and where God says, hey, I need you to do this. You should do this. And God's people say, no, hear what you're saying. We're going to do it our way. And God will say things like, you stiff-necked, stubborn people, and that's just pride. It's when your spine straightens up, and the walls come up, and the defenses come up, and the hands go out, and the stiff arms come out. Well, the Bible says the opposite attitude is humility, and the image of humility is flexibility. Okay, in the Greek, in the New Testament, the Greek word for humility is tapeno. Tapeno has this whole baggage of being pliable and flexible. And so the question is, are you flexible when it comes to God's plan